Hi, welcome. My name is Victoria Rivera. I am a physician assistant. I have 25 years of clinical practice. Most of those years were in family practice and internal medicine. I started functional medicine professionally in 2014, although I started my training probably in 2006. I'm here today to introduce LEAP coaching. LEAP coaching stands for leading, educating, and aligning practitioners just like yourself, to help you leap from traditional medicine into functional medicine. So myself and my co-partner, the co-founder, Dr. Sherry Task, we started LEAP coaching a couple of years ago, and we're going to begin our next cohort in the fall of this year of 2025. And this is a brief case presentation of what we teach and how we teach the application of functional medicine. I'm going to review one of a very commonly used tests called the urine organic acid test, and also the urine mycotoxin test. Those tests, there's no perfect test. There's no perfect functional test, no perfect conventional test, obviously. This case kind of showcases the limitations of the OAT test, and we're going to take a look at how and why it does that. So, a 70-year-old patient of mine, she family practice patient for over 20 years. When I left to start my own cash practice, she followed me. She came to me because she had been dealing with severe photophobia, to the point where she was wearing cataract glasses. She couldn't drive herself anywhere. Where she said, I've gone to the optometrist, ophthalmologist, back and forth, did all the testing, no eye disease, but this was really interfering with her quality of life. And she said, look, this is friggin' ridiculous. I'm wearing cataract glasses, I can't do anything, something's going on, can you help me? And I went through her history and I identified a couple of things that I thought maybe could contribute to photophobia. I said, well, why don't we try something called a urine organic acid test, and then another test to pair with it called the urine mycotoxin test. Because she did have, her past medical history was significant for celiac disease since she was a child, but very well managed because she was on a strict gluten-free diet. And she also had a dairy-free diet. She ate a low-carb diet, mostly organic, fruits and vegetables, and lean animal protein. She said, okay, so we went ahead and we ordered the tests, and I'm going to share my screen and we'll take a look at the initial test. So the initial tests, the first OAT was done in basically January of 2023. This first section, the section markers 1 through 9, giving information about fungal colonization in the body. And all the little diamonds, most of them are flushed to the left, and that's very normal. You have one, number 3, oxyglutaric acid, mildly elevated, but not significant. In fact, the entirety of the OAT looked quite good. There was nothing elevated on her first OAT. And again, we paired it with the urine mycotoxin, but she did have some positive findings. She had a positive urine aflatoxin M1 and a positive urine mycophenolic acid. Mycophenolic acid is indicative of someone currently being exposed to mold, and the rest of the test was okay. So what we did is we decided to do a little detoxification, and that focused on expelling mycotoxins from the body, a lot of sweating, we did binders, we did some glutathione, and she definitely got better. She definitely improved. It wasn't ideal, but she could at least drive herself to her own functions without the assistance of somebody else. So she was doing fine for quite a while, and then she reached out to me several months later in the fall, and she said, look, this is happening all over again. I've already gone to my optometrist, I've gone to the ophthalmologist, all the studies are there, they looked at my retina, I don't have any eye disease. So why does this keep happening? So I said, okay, well, why don't we repeat the same 2 tests to see what could possibly come up? And so we did, and we did that in September. So this is a September OAT. Now we see, although not overtly elevated, there's some elevation of the fungal markers in the markers 1 through 1 through 9 on the urine organic acid test. She also see a little bit of an elevated hippuric acid, which indicates an elevation of bacteria colonization, and an elevated HPA, specific type of bacteria that's identified on the O of the Clostridia. And then we go down, and then we also see some elevation. So this kind of corroborates with an elevation of the mold markers, the oxalate metabolites. Oxalate metabolites are produced by fungal organisms, but you can also, oxalates are innate in plant life. She wasn't on a heavily oxalate diet. We went through her diet, that looked okay. Her diet changed a bit. She wasn't super low carb like she used to be. So that could have explained some of the increase in the fungal markers. Although she'd had completely fine, her arabinose was 7, number 7 was 14, so that was mildly elevated. But then we went ahead and looked at the mycotoxin test, where is it? Here we go. With the suspicion that maybe this is elevated again because of what was seen earlier in the year. But everything came back absolutely normal. So not really certain. We kind of went back through her history again. And I inquired about any new supplements that she had been taking, because people that are attracted to functional medicine, they like to take their supplements. And she did. She found something online. There were these little gummies made of gelatin with vitamins and other, I can't remember what other ingredients were there, but she was taking several, like 10 to 12 in the evening. And so my suspicion was, I believe that you're very sensitive to oxalates, and the glycerin in those was converting in to oxalates. So we had her stop those, just that. And then I had her, continue her, she was on omega-3 fatty acids. She was on fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K. And within 2 weeks, she was 100% normal. So what this made me realize is, and there's no ideal test here. And you really, it's incredible how much goes back to history, even when you're using what we consider more sensitive tests like the urine organic acid and urine mycotoxin. But it just goes to show that you have to take everything into context and apply it to the person. And these are the kind of things that we do in our membership. And I hope that this was useful for you, and I hope you join us. Thank you.